Hey, what's going on? JD here, and this is the Daily JD. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, remember, smash that like button, hit the bell so you get notifications when we do, in fact, go live. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys had a terrific holiday season, a fantastic break. I had a good time away, and we are back. It is 2020, 2019, the last time we talked. So appreciate all you guys tuning in. And of course, you can follow me on my socials at Paint Inc. over on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. You can catch me on all those platforms. So you can check me out there. I haven't been on Twitch as much as I probably should. I did manage to get to play with Josh WRB and, of course, the amazing L, who is always a ton of fun to play Fortnite with. So we had a good time doing that. So you can check out Josh's stream over there on Twitch. And of course, I want to thank our Patreon supporters. That is none other than Reviewy McReviewface, as well as Josh WRB and Mums Universe. Thanks, guys, for supporting us month after month. Hey, good to see you, Craftsmith. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, Rob, long time no see. Good to see you. Glad to see that you've been streaming lots over there on Twitch, streaming the NHL on the, I'm going to assume it's PlayStation. I can't see you being an Xbox guy, you know. I'd say Super NES, but we all know that's crap systems. So moving on. Absolutely moving on. So how are you guys? Hopefully things are doing well. Hopefully I'm not blowing out the mic here. I've been moving things around. I've been doing the podcast. I've been filming a new podcast, which I should be releasing an episode, hopefully by the end of the month here. One Killer Story is the name of the podcast, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I have been making it. Have some really cool guests. First episode, like I said, will include the award-winning hip-hop artist King Dylan. He was over for a while. We had a great chat, so that is cool. And Rob, man, having a blast over there. Settle down, PS4 and Xphone. There you go. So like I said, hopefully you guys had fantastic time off. I know that I did. It's always good to kind of take those breaks, a good couple weeks of mental break. So the Daily JD for 2020, for the time being, I'm going to change the format. We are going to stream Tuesday only. So I'm going down to 1 day a week. Unless you guys absolutely demand, a Thursday edition as well. And if, the numbers are so high that, I can justify that, I will definitely go back to 2 days. But for the time being, we are going to reduce down to one. So as is tradition, if there's anything that you guys want to discuss or talk about, by all means, throw that into the chat. Let me know what you want to discuss. I do have some things to talk about, everything from Kevin Smith stuff to YouTube stuff today. So we will go through that, and I will start with YouTube. So for those of you who didn't know, the Copa stuff launched basically today. So you may realize, if you watch your favorite kids channel or kids content channel, that pretty much across the board, all the comments are disabled. I've already started seeing stuff where people are blaming, that for reduced revenue. It hasn't been in effect for long enough to see that. And I mean, the truth of the matter is whatever you make in December is significantly less in January. That is a pretty standard YouTube kind of trend. Most advertisers, October, November, especially November, December, really bump up their advertising because they want your holiday dollars. And those campaigns typically end around, Christmas time or shortly thereafter, and revenue drops significantly. So, all these people that are posting that we've lost all this money, it's not that. It's to do with other factors, and a big part of that being the holiday season. I mean, a lot of people that are creating kid-directed content as well that are consumed by kids. I mean, from, 2 weeks in December, sometimes a little bit longer because I don't have kids and I can't speak to this necessarily, but I know generally for about a 2 week period in between Christmas and New Year's, kids are at home that whole time. And if you're in a place like Canada where it's balls cold like it is today, they've got lots of stuff to do, like watch YouTube. So your views are going to go up, and they're excited about Christmas, so they're going to want to watch a whole bunch of those things. So that has a bigger impact on it than what people are seeing now. So there. Don't believe a lot of the stuff that's coming out. People are going to show you a bunch of analytics. Like I said, they're already kind of, dropping out, but, it's going to, have an impact in a different way. And we will see that when you compare Christmas to Christmas, you might have a better argument if you see that trend. Craftsman says, things are good here. Moved into a nice apartment. I saw that on Facebook, and congratulations on the first, and been busy unpacking and setting up the new place, which must be really exciting. Getting ready, in a new place and in sort of a new life, and just setting up your spaces again is always a plus. I had planned actually on redoing the office, and that just never kind of happened, mainly because through my own neglect, what I was going to do was custom build a desk. And in my own absent-mindedness, I forgot to order the top for it. So it's the same old office, which is not a bad thing. It's always a disaster anyways. And, whatever I put in would be nice and set up for like 5 minutes. And then there'd be camera gear everywhere like I'm looking at now. So that's how that kind of stuff works. Craftsman says, excited to get back to making cosplay stuff. That's cool. I can't wait to see the videos and all the costumes and such on Instagram and Facebook that you come up with. I always enjoy, cosplay and, what people create. I think it's fantastic art, that you're involved in. So, beyond the YouTube stuff, of course, I want to talk about Kevin Smith, which you might know by the title here. Twilight of the Mallrats is actually the working name of the script that he's working on. So a sequel to Mallrats. For those of you who follow Kevin Smith quite closely will know that he had, sort of worked on a TV series pitch, but nobody picked it up. So he is back to writing a script. In fact, he was tweeting at Bruce Campbell, who you may know from movies like The Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, best known for his character Ash, the man with the chainsaw hand. He is looking to replace Stan Lee, the late Stan Lee, as Brody, one of the characters from Mallrats' new sort of mentor. So Bruce Campbell would play himself as Bruce Campbell in it. And I'd be excited to see that. Why? Because I'm an Army of Darkness fan as well. I like Bruce Campbell. I love The Evil Dead. I love the series, and I would love to see that happen. As well, he is working on a new Clerks script, Clerks 3, which is interesting because it's good because Kevin's sort of back to writing scripts, that sort of mirror his life. And, from what I understand, the script for Clerks 3 is that, sort of Randall has a heart attack, which is the character that portrays, Kevin. And essentially on this, after having this massive heart attack, he realizes that, he hasn't done anything in his life. He hasn't had any kids. He wants to go out and thing, and it mirrors, kind of Kevin Smith life, and he decides that both him and Dante are going to make the Clerks movie. I mean, it's not obviously in chronological order in terms of Kevin Smith's life, but again, it's mirroring his life, so I mean, there will definitely be entertaining, and I like nothing more than a good Clerks film because I do deeply love those characters. So it will be very interesting to see. Rob says, I don't like that I've been taking a step back on YouTube, but I'm glad when I've played around with it enough, and when I get back to it, it should be an easy jump back in. And that's a good thing with taking breaks and sort of evaluating what you're doing and what you're enjoying and what you're not enjoying, and just formulating your life to fit whatever you're doing on social media platforms. It's always good. If you're not enjoying something, the big thing is don't do it. And sometimes time away makes the heart fonder. Sometimes you just need a break. To sort of get back into that creating mood and just sort of get your mojo back going. And I can relate. I haven't actually really kind of put out a vlog per se in a bit, because I haven't done anything what I would consider vlog worthy. And so I've focused on some different things. It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just that I haven't happened to have those things. And I just got invaded by the dog. So if you hear some TV noise, I apologize. Dog just came in here, dropped a cookie, covered it up, and has left. So that's just kind of how she rolls. So yeah, I mean, that's good. I'm sure you will take it, swinging when you get back in. Did you see the Bruce Smith Campbell tweet and reply by Kevin Smith? I didn't see the Bruce Campbell tweet. I did see the Kevin Smith tweet, or maybe I got them a bit backwards there. But I am super excited for the outlook that these movies can be created. I'm also super stoked because today is the 7th. That means that we are like 10 days away from me seeing Kevin Smith again. So I'm excited for that as he's coming through Calgary with the Jay and Silent Bob Reboot Roadshow. So myself and Josh WRB are going to head down and we're going to check that out at the Globe Cinema. Super pumped for that. Unfortunately, I am way too poor to afford the meet and greet, but I have general tickets and he does talk, and I just enjoy, listening to him tell stories, and the fact that it's just sort of come out now about Mallrats, the Twilight of the Mallrats, as well as Clerks 3. I think it's going to be a very good kind of talk and movie because there's so much to talk about in a sense in the whole Bruce Campbell thing. So I'm super stoked that it's it's really kind of timely. So I'm excited for that whole night. It should be a good time. And chances are I will probably somewhat vlog it as much as I can, as much as you can, take video in a movie theater with a camera and not get in trouble, right? So we'll give it a shot anyways. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I guess you did. I did see it. Craftsman says, freaking loved Mallrats, such a great movie. It is. The funny thing with Mallrats is that when it came out as a film, it was a flop. It didn't do well in the box office, but it became, thanks to things like video stores and VHS and the fan base for Kevin Smith, became sort of this cult classic. So I mean, it's really good, and I'm glad he keeps on wanting to make another film, although, like I said, with the TV series, he pitched it. It was largely unsuccessful. If you really want to watch, some of the stuff, there was even a Clerks TV series, I think, that was pitched at one point, and it was terrible. But watch it. It's funny. It's entertaining. So, you can catch that on YouTube. Just search Pilot Clerks and you'll find it. Craftsman says, taking breaks while being a creator is super important. Don't want to get burnt out. Yeah, and I mean, especially when you are in a position where this is not your full-time gig. If it becomes different if YouTube is the bread and butter, or whatever you're creating is the bread and butter that pays your rent, that pays your bills, and all those kind of things. You don't necessarily get a break as much with those kind of things a lot of times. Why? Because you're a small independent business, which has its challenges in itself. But if you are doing it and you have a full-time job that covers everything else, by all means, you can afford to take that time away. If you don't create and you don't get paid, it doesn't mean anything to your bottom. I mean, it might mean something to your bottom line, but it might, not be the difference between sleeping in a house and sleeping in a cardboard box. I mean, that's kind of the difference. And, the truth of the matter is, the more that you burn the midnight oil, the more that you cause yourself duress, it's going to get worse in the long run. You'll always hear about writers talk about writer's block. They get more and more frustrated, and it just becomes longer and longer, rather than, kind of taking some time away, resetting, and then going back to it. Some people work themselves into that frenzy, and it's never, ever a good result at the end of the day. So I agree. Super important to take breaks along the way. So, that's kind of where things are. It wouldn't be me if I didn't mention some other things that are going on. If anybody's watching this, the Australian wildfires are an absolutely terrible thing that are going on. I mean, those fires have been burning for 4 months down there. There are species that are potentially going to go extinct. It has had a huge impact on the population of Australia. And, if you can help out in any way, shape, or form, Chris Amesworth posted a bunch of links. For those of you who don't know who he is, he's the actor that plays Thor. You can catch him on his Twitter, but he posted a bunch of links of organizations that are helping the firefighters fight the fires down there. One of the things I will say that, it's nice to see. I know that Alberta has, had a, financially terrible time, and it hasn't been the best time for people, but it's good to see that Alberta sent a contingent of wildfire specialists down there to fight the wildfires. I was happy to see that, especially seeing is that, my family was personally impacted by the Fort McMurray wildfires, and the fact that, the family lost the restaurant business, as well as the other store that we operated in Fort McMurray, and those, we never recovered from that, but that's besides the point. Everybody, got out of there safe at that time. So, I mean, that's the blessing in that. But it definitely has a deep impact. So everything that helps, and I know that, even as simple things, like the water at the side of the road for people driving out was a big impact. So, if you can all afford it, and I know again that, Alberta has come on difficult times, and it's not always easy for people to give, and that's fine. But if you have anything to spare, donating to that is, definitely a good thing to do. So, if you guys have anything that you want to discuss, by all means, throw it into the chat. Let me know what you'd like to talk about. That's kind of what I've got for you this week. Unless you want to talk about the Instagram model that is charging, or that basically, if you show her a $10 donation to the wildfires, and this might encourage you to donate, I guess, if you're into this kind of thing, is that there is a Instagram model that is, if you show her that you've donated $10 or more to any of these charities, show an official receipt, she will send you nudes. So, I mean, and she's generated over $1 million, which is crazy, and generated a ton of publicity for herself. It's a crazy, crazy world out there. So yeah, I mean, it's been good. There we go. Craftsman said there's a woman sending nudes for anyone who donates money to help those wildfires. It's like you guys are like reading my mind today. Or, it just, you just know how I operate, is this kind of thing. I think it's funny, but yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, people, do, what they can. Last I heard, she had raised over 100K. It went up exponentially fast. I will say this. When I first heard the story, she raised about $10,000, which, was, I think it was Monday. Was it Monday? Early Monday, or was it last week? It was either last week. It might have been Monday last week. She was at about 10K. And then I heard it was like $100,000. And then I heard it was like $700,000. And then I just heard on the way back that now it's eclipsed $1 million. But like I said, it's why not? If you can do it, why not? Maybe I should threaten to, if you don't donate $10, then I will send you nudes, and maybe we can generate some money that way. Because I don't think anybody really wants to see that at the end of the day. But yeah, no, I mean it's amazing that people will go do that. I was just I've heard a bunch of things. Like I said, Chris Hemsworth donated $1 million towards the wildfires. I know that Shutterfly has donated today $100,000. It's good to see people pulling together to help people, regardless that they're on the other side of the globe. It's just good to see that people are out there doing good things, and I applaud anybody who has done anything, and you have my complete respect for doing all of that. So, like I said, other than that, I don't have a ton of stuff. Just a reminder, we are doing the Elton John is personally donating $1 million, which is awesome. It's good to see that that people that have are definitely chipping in, and the fact that every, like I said, every little bit helps. I was talking to some people today that have friends there that are in South Australia, that basically they are blocked in there, that the gas prices there are atrocious, and that they're basically out of food in the grocery stores, which is a scary prospect. Like I said, these things have been going on for 4 months. They haven't had any reprieve. It's been super hot. It's creating its own weather systems. I mean, you'll see footage of fire tornadoes. It did create some rain weather, which was good, but it also created lightning strikes, which is bad because it started more fires. So, hopefully, people will come out of that on top. It's just, one of those crazy, crazy things, that happens. And it's, in all honesty, it's just an unfortunate thing and an unfortunate reality that happens. Darcy says, after NSW police said they are taking legal action against 183 people for fire-related offenses, just 24 have been charged with deliberately relating bushfires. And I guess that's a problem that has happened down there before, is that once the fires start burning, that people start setting fires as well, which is scary in the sense, so all the motivation is kind of weird. Like, some people are just setting fires for the sake of setting fires. Some people are setting them for insurance stuff. But it's crazy stuff. The rest are disobeying the total fire ban, things like lighting fireworks, dropping lit cigarettes, that sort of thing, which is scary. I mean, it happens here too. The scary thing is this happens in Canada, that people will do things like dispose of cigarettes out the window, and that's all it really takes. I mean, we've had incidences where people have lit forest fires as well. Just a couple years ago, there was a guy caught on video doing that. It's one of those kind of weird, unfortunate things, because, especially with that human element, those things don't have to happen. Whether it's the laziness of, flicking a cigarette out your window, or, the calculated part of it, like, committing insurance fraud. It is just kind of a crazy thing. So again, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. As always, please do smash that like button. I will catch you next Tuesday. Like I said, we are going down to 1 day a week for the time, until such times as these numbers are blowing through the roof and that the demand is for 2 daily JDs a week. We will switch back, but until then, we're going to stick with the Tuesday only thing. Thank you so much. Hope you guys had a fantastic holiday. I can't wait to hear about what you have planned for 2020. I know myself, like I said, I've got Kevin Smith coming up in 10 days, as well as I've started actually making plans for Poutine Week again this year, which is, of course, in April. We do it every year, but we've started already. I've already started talking to them, so that is fantastic. And thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll leave you with some Avengers moving out. And until next time, see ya.